I swore that I was done playing and reviewing simulator games. They're all basically just the same thing, and it's getting harder to tell the genuine high-effort premium releases from the asset flip ripoffs. So I suppose that's why I'm actually back here, to help you sift through the crap, and maybe save you from getting mugged by Crime Simulator. Watch on and find out why. Crime Simulator annoys me with its name, because instantly I think cheap, nasty, one-loop spinner, and most of the time, I'm correct. But Crime Simulator at least has some quality behind it. There's even a bit of backstory as to why you're going out on the rob. The game begins with you in the clink, doing hard time, only for a mysterious, unknown third party to pay your bail. But now you're in their debt, and to pay off that debt, you need to go out robbing. Yeah, somebody paid fairly big money so that you can go breaking into people's garden sheds at night. It's silly, but at least it tries. There's something there, even if it's only to laugh at. Its personality and character, most of these simulator games skip entirely. You're also on a 3-day cycle, and every 3 days, you need to fulfill your quota. Otherwise, it's lights out and you get shot from an unseen sniper. Again, it's daft, but it's kinda cool, and it made me think, maybe with a half-decent story to bookend the nighttime panty raids, this game could have been called anything else. The Real Hustle. 3 days to deliver. Whatever. But instead, it's stained with a name that plays to the lowest common denominator, throwing out the bait to the mindless masses with a name that says, "Hey, I'm like those others. Click me," instead of trying to stand out from the crowd. Instead, it's lost amongst the numerous knockoffs and wannabes. Okay, so naming conventions aside, I've already established the story is a basic opening cutscene and not much else, which is a shame because it could have served to prop up further the surprisingly decent gameplay. Now I know someone will say Thief Simulator did it first, or whatever other sim based on theft and petty crime actually did it first, but I can't speak for them. This is all I know, and I'm judging it as if I'm one of you potentially going into the unknown for the first time. What I can say is that I went in expecting the worst, but came out very impressed. My first hour, which ended in frustration as I skipped the tutorial, preferring to learn on the job. 3 failed runs later and I was on my balcony stinking at the neighborhood, and then I went back to it, and I really stuck at it. I sat proper close to the TV, turned the lights out, and went full criminal mode, determined to rob these bastards blind. And it is a satisfying loop. You have a neighborhood with a half-dozen or so houses, and in the case of the opening level, there's also a bunch of storage units. You have until 6 AM to bag as much swag as you can and get it back to your thiefmobile. You earn cash for your quota, but you also earn credits, a separate currency for completing challenges and other tasks. And you spend this in the store to get useful equipment, like lockpicks, a glass knife, and later on, drones, guns, knockout gas, and more. The idea is you set up, you load out, maybe even buy some information from the computer about the occupants of the homes, learn some insider tip that'll hopefully help you avoid being caught mid-run. I'm using the word run in the roguelike sense here because it's very much a roguelike game. You do get progressively better, slowly gaining XP and leveling up, gaining new abilities that open up the world and opportunities to score big ticket items. My first go, I was dumb. I ran straight for the first house I saw, smashed the window with a rock, and ended up getting shot by the cops. But I got better, and I really started to enjoy it. Once you learn the game systems, maybe do the tutorial, you can really have a good play around inside the game. And the longer you play, the more you naturally learn to be sneaky, to notice the routines, to buy the right equipment in the right order. And you do all this, and you'll make it through the night with some serious swag to show for it. And even if you don't, it's fun trying. Stealth is a big part of the game and could have easily been the downfall. It's a bit too basic for my liking, though I am coming off the back of a recent Splinter Cell playthrough, so what I'm used to is far deeper, though this game does claim to be a simulator, so maybe I should be holding its feet closer to the fire. Don't get me wrong, it's functional, and for most people, the simple-to-understand system will provide the most friction-free experience. It's still got some challenge, and if you tinker with the difficulty, I played on casual, you'll find the sweet spot for your stealth sensibilities. Crouching, creeping, opening cupboards slowly versus rummaging quickly, it's all part of the package and allows for some tense gameplay moments, whether it's trying to quickly but quietly go through some lady's knicker drawer while you can hear her muttering to herself in the next room, or picking a lock for a sneaky escape. It's these tense moments that kept me coming back. The ritual of sneaking into my first house, knowing where to get the best loot and where I'd be heading next, knowing where the cameras are to avoid being spotted. It all pulled me into the fantasy and made me believe I could actually be a criminal mastermind. Hey, I did actually feel like a genius when I threw a rock at a security camera to see if anything would happen, and to my amazement, it broke. But there's also the feeling that the world is persistent and makes some kind of logical sense. And it does. Get caught snooping through the panty drawers and the cops will be called. And the next night, that household will be on high alert, making it harder to raid. And if you don't have the right skills or tools, maybe even impossible. So yeah, there's risk and reward, and the reward is worth the risk, because even when it goes tits up, it's good fun, and starting a fresh run doesn't feel like starting from nothing. It's just slow progress, but I'll get back to that in a moment, because before I start digging into the negatives, I've got to give the game a little bit more glazing. One of my biggest complaints with a lot of simulator games is that they generally tend to look pretty poor. Asset flipped, Unreal Store slap-togethers trying to trick the twits. But not this one. It actually looks pretty decent and runs well too, and I played on Xbox Series X, and as you can see, it looks good. It won't win any awards, of course, but it looks nice enough, and more importantly, it sells itself with conviction. The sound design, on the other hand, well, the voice acting is laughable, but at least I think they're human voice actors, so that's something. On the control side, it's straightforward, and there's even a constant reminder to tap the select button to see a reminder for the controls. The minigames too are simple enough and play into the sneaky tension, though again I do suggest going through the tutorial, lest you only learn about opening doors slowly after 6 hours of play. Now, what I really didn't like was the progression. It's hard. There are only 3 maps in the game, at least so far, but I've heard they're gonna add more. Great, but at the rate I'm going, I'll never see them, because each map is locked behind big credit amounts. The credits are doled out so slowly, or the big rewards are locked behind sometimes impossible challenges. I've put almost a dozen hours into the game, and I'm still no closer to getting out of the opening neighborhood. And the menus, my word, what a fucking frustrating mess. Trying to navigate the computer on board the Bandito bus is torture, with the cursor disappearing, or you try to go back 1 page and you get sent back all the way to the start screen. Literally everything that could be wrong is wrong, and it's borderline broken. Thankfully, at least in my experience, the store side works fine, so getting equipment isn't an issue, but trying to buy the info on tenants, fucking nightmare. It also feels like the game's difficulty was tailored towards groups of players, rather than solo cat burglars, because it's very difficult, and in many scenarios, I imagined a world where I had friends, or family, and one could be acting as a lookout on the one side, and the other could look out on the other side, and I could take my time sniffing through the panty drawer. Instead, as a solo sniffer, it's a lot of luck and hoping you're not caught out by the wandering inhabitants. So bear that in mind if you intend to play this one solo. Also, multiplayer is online only, no split screen. Big boo. I didn't expect to like Crime Simulator, but I actually genuinely do. It's not a bad game by any stretch, and while it does have its problems and is lacking in length,
that's what she said.
what is there is fun, and if multiplayer is your thing, I can see this being a good laugh with the lads. If you happen to have some lads. Mine died. But I also see the potential for something to be more than just another simulator. A game that's got the potential to stand a bit taller, be seen by a few more. Instead, it feels like a cop-out. Like they said, yeah, we know the lane, and we'll stick in it, rather than being brave and bold and going for gold, instead of settling for a participation award. If you've enjoyed other similar games before, you should find something to enjoy here without a doubt. But if you're looking for your next best stealthy Splinter Cell experience, this ain't it. And that is the end of this video, and look, more stuff to watch. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, do me a solid and hit the like and subscribe buttons below and the hype button, that's new, and give the bell icon a ding so you're notified whenever there's something new to watch. And if you really like this video and the channel in general, consider joining and becoming a member of Pure Play TV. All the good info is down below. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.